But first, if you hadn't been paying attention, you could be forgiven for thinking that Elon Musk had been going around Sydney stabbing people. Our political class have decided, in the wake of the Bondi stabbings and the attack on a churchman, that the greatest threat to public safety is Twitter. Everybody from the Prime Minister to the opposition leader has spent the past few days denouncing Elon Musk for the crime of, well, apparently it's a heinous crime to allow real people to show real footage of real things that really happened in real life. Our politicians don't like real life. They'd prefer us all to live in a fantasy world, carefully curated by the e-safety Karen, who determines what we should and should not see. Have a listen to Senior Government Minister Tanya Plibersek today.
It just beggars belief, really, doesn't it? That this guy, this egotistical billionaire, it's more important for him to have his way than to respect the victims.
Tanya Plibersek posted that to Twitter and failed to see the irony of using a egotistical billionaire's platform to criticise an egotistical billionaire. But the point remains, it's not the government's job to protect us from seeing bad things that happen to our neighbour just up the road, nor is it the government's job to hide things from us because they either don't like or don't want the conversation that might ensue. Have a listen to Anthony Albanese today.
The pain of many people has been exacerbated by what occurred on social media, the broadcasting of violent images that have no place.
I'm not sure we honour the dead or the injured by preventing people from seeing what actually happened, such that those events become sanitised and the conversation becomes muted. Anthony Albanese went on to say that the footage of the attacks had the potential to inflame things. And I think there's the key. Anthony Albanese doesn't have a problem with Elon Musk. He's got a problem with you and with me because he doesn't trust us to have difficult conversations, and he certainly doesn't seem capable of leading a difficult conversation himself. So he's turned Elon Musk into the attacker and Twitter into the knife. Now, just before we went to air this evening, the Federal Court granted the e-Safety Commissioner an injunction to prevent Twitter from showing footage of the church attack. No. The barrister for the e-Safety Commissioner told the court that if footage of the church attack was allowed to remain online, it would cause, and I quote, irreparable harm and stoke public division, which of course raises the question, Caleb, should we get rid of footage of 9/11? Should we erase footage of the Bali bombings? Yep. Should Anthony Albanese and Peter Dutton come and go through our personal DVD collection?
Well, of course, because long before you had social media, you had email, and I think we all remember how chain emails used to work. I mean, you want to talk about spreading misinformation, disinformation. It was happening.
Share this 50 times over or your mum's going to die.
It was happening via chain email long before social media existed. So are they proposing that they're going to have to start controlling what you can and can't email and what you can and can't send text messages? On the decision from the court tonight, they've not ordered that the videos be taken down yet, but they've said that there must be a warning put on top of them so you can't automatically see it. But curiously, it doesn't apply to any further posting of the video. So if you post the video tonight, the warning doesn't apply. It only applies to things that have already been posted. But Tanya Plibersek saying, you know, the egotistical billionaire, this must have been on the Labor talking points today, because another minister, Murray Watt, was talking about this on Sky today and basically said exactly the same words.
Elon Musk, he doesn't think he seems to owe any obligation to any member of the public. And quite frankly, I think the public's had a gutful of these narcissistic billionaires. I think it's entirely fair that we go after them.
And it's one thing to talk about the videos and whether or not you should be able to view the videos, and I believe that you should. But the Prime Minister is now cynically using this to also talk about misinformation, disinformation. And we know that this is an agenda that the federal government has been driving for more than a year. They have a misinformation, disinformation bill coming up that will essentially mean anything that you post on social media, I post on social media, anything we say here at Sky News, anything published in the newspaper, the Communication and Media Authority, a government bureaucratic arm, can come after you and tell you to take it down, and they can fine you if they believe that what you are saying is wrong. You're asking the government, or the government is asking itself, to have a bureaucratic outfit that decides what is and isn't the truth. It's the stuff of communist regimes. Albanese talked directly about misinformation, disinformation again today.
Now, surely there is now a recognition that misinformation is a problem on social media. This isn't about freedom of expression. This is about the dangerous implications that can occur when things that are simply not true, that everyone knows is not true, are replicated and weaponised in order to cause division, and in this case to promote negative statements and potentially to just inflame what was a very difficult situation.
So we, the government, will decide what you can and cannot. I know. What he's talking about is that we will decide. We are the arbiters of the truth. And the New South Wales Police Commissioner, Karen Webb, basically suggested what is the logical conclusion of all of this last week. She said, don't look at social media. If you want to know what's going on, we are the only people to come to.
There is misinformation being communicated across social media, and people should not share any of that information. The source of information should be from police and law enforcement authorities, and if people have concerns, they should check our websites, our socials.
Now, look, having been a crime reporter, I can tell you that the police are not the only source of information. Quite often it is information gathered by journalists that gets to you long before the police want you to know about it, because our job is to bring you the reality of what is going on. And that's what they want to stop. They don't want reality to be portrayed. It's the version of reality that they say is reality. Well, that is not truth.